Good morning, Community Circle Church. I'm so glad that you are all here. I know that more are coming, but I hope you guys had a great Christmas. I know that I did. I hope all of you on Facebook had a great Christmas. We had Christmas with family and with friends that have become like family. So I'm thankful for that. Mostly I'm thankful for Jesus because he was the greatest gift of all. So this morning, let's worship together because we know that the best is yet to come. I believe that the future is brighter. I believe in his promise for me. I believe that he's working and he's not done. The best is yet to come. I know he makes the anxious courageous. I know he makes the doubters believe. I know he won't stop working 'cause he's not done. The best is yet to come, and I've got this hope in my soul. I know he won't let me go. Lord, I believe with your heart in me, I've just begun. The best is yet to come. I believe that he gives second chances. I believe he works all things for good. I believe that he's working and he's not done. The best is yet to come. And I've got this hope in my soul. I know he won't let me go. Lord, I believe you're not with me. I've just begun. Yes, I've got this hope in my soul. I know you won't let me go. Lord, I believe you're not with me. I've just begun. The best is yet to come. I got my hopes high. You make my hopes rise. I got my hopes high. You hold my whole life. I got my hopes high. You make my hopes rise. I got my hopes high. You hold my whole life. I got my hopes high. You make my hopes rise. I got my hopes high. You hold my whole life. I got my hopes high. You make my hopes rise. I got my hopes high. You hold my whole life. And I got this hope in my soul. I know you won't let me go. Oh, Lord, I believe you're not with me. I've just begun. Yes, I've got this hope in my soul. I know you won't let me go. Oh, Lord, I believe you're right in me. I've just begun. The best is yet to come. You know, I really do believe that this year has been quite challenging, I think, for all of us. But you know, in the year that we have had, we've seen some things come and we've seen some things go. But in this year, we've seen our church grow. And I think that's amazing in the kind of year that we've had because we've lost so much. But we've seen growth. We've had families come, Roland, Diane, Sam, and Valerie. We're so thankful for all of you because, you know, some churches have lost, but we have gained. And I just feel like we're so blessed because of that. God has been so good to us. And I will build my life on his foundation. Worthy of every song we could ever sing. Worthy of every praise we could ever bring. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. And God's promises are so true. They're just yes and amen. And God can't go back on his word because he is a God that never fails. And he's truth. And he's truth. And his word is life. And I just want to sing today about how God is so good. So if you can, just worship with me. Let the music get into your soul. Hear the words that we're singing this morning. No height or depth can separate your steadfast love. Who can escape your faithfulness and endlessly? So full of grace and mercy, we sing God.
guys have a great Christmas? Great Christmas. All right. I know we had a great Christmas. I know that we met together and we didn't care. All right. So, Merry Christmas, belated Christmas, you guys. I hope you guys had a good time. Excuse you. All right. I think we let the kiddos out already, so we're gonna go ahead and let you guys have a seat. In the way of announcements, there's just a couple. Next week, first Sunday of the year. You guys believe that? It's already here. The first Sunday of 2021. All right. We got a new series started that we're going to start next week. You want to be here to be a part of it? You want me to tell you what it's about? I'll tell you next week. All right. Really, I think this is something that's going to benefit the church. I think it's going to benefit us personally. So let me encourage you: be here. Bring friends. Bring family. Bring enemies. Maybe be friends when you leave. Who knows, right? So this coming Friday. Who knows what this Friday is? You say New Year's is the right answer. New Year's Day, right? New Year's Day. Okay. So here at this location, 1 o'clock. We're going to be watching the college football playoffs. So come on out. We're going to have the barbecue going. We're going to have hot links. We're going to have burgers. We're going to have hot dogs. And this is something. It's aimed at the fellas, right? So that we can kind of get together. But ladies, we're not going to tell you can't come. Okay? If you love football, now don't come here with us watching football and say, we need to talk about our feelings. Okay? This is not something that, this is not a feelings-oriented event. The only thing that we want to feel is full after we stuff ourselves with unhealthy food. Okay? So, the first game starts at 1 o'clock. There's a second game that starts, I believe, at 5 o'clock. We're going to watch them both. Okay? And we're going to have the TV set up outside. If it gets too cold, we'll bring it inside. All right? So, 1 o'clock, kickoff. I'll send you guys out reminders because I know if anybody's like me, how many of you guys forget as soon as you hear it? Yeah, okay. Write it down. Tell a friend, okay? But you guys, let's bring some friends and let's kind of introduce them to the church a little at a time, so they don't get too nervous about church. Notice that we're not the weird people they think we are. We're okay, right? We're okay people. So, hey, let's stuff them full of burgers and hot links and hot dogs and make them love us, okay? And so we might even have some dessert here. I don't know. I mean, it's just going to be whatever's on sale at Walmart or Smart and Final. So I'm kidding. Okay, so no, Friday 1 o'clock. Please come on out. Okay, remember, let's be faithful to the house. Okay, our giving box over here. Checker cash goes there. If you want to do online, we have a text to give. You're putting it in there, right, Emma? Emma's putting it in the notes. So if you're like, oh, what was that number? Just go back to the video here on Facebook. 661-218-2707. Did I get it right? Yes. I haven't practiced it in a while, so it's just, okay. And it's so simple, even the pastor can do it. All right, because that's how I do my giving, is I do it text to give, and it's so simple. All right, and we're excited about what the new year has to bring. And let's see, I think that's it for the announcements. I don't have Robin in here telling me that I forgot something, so I guess we're good. How many of you guys did family pictures through the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas? Well, I got a short video.
Here?
Probably. No. At the house. At Joe's house, with your family. All your family, that you all gathered with against the rules. Okay? But I got a little video here that shows it probably just a little bit about what you may have gone through. Okay? Just watch this video.
This year is going to be rustic denim in front of a barn. Do we live in the suburbs? Yes. Have we ever been to a barn? No. But I thought it would make perfect sense for a Christmas photo. That's what you're going to wear? I didn't spend $40,000 on a liberal arts education for you to shop at Goodwill. Tuck your shirt in. Put your hand up. Is that seriously his haircut? No, Catherine, your boyfriend can't be in the photo. Y'all been dating 2 weeks. Does he not even own a belt? Why did your elbow go like that? Can we get a scarf for him or something to cover up that disgusting tattoo? Move your leg in. Move your hand down. Christopher Allen, do you even want to be in this family? This photo is going to your principal. No, Josiah, you can't bring a guitar out here. Mr. A and G chord can't even make the church worship band. You call that necklace these days, Chelsea? Looks like you just took the leash off the dog. Oh, for heaven's sakes, Dylan, a tennis racket? Why don't you play a real sport like football, roll tag? Sit down, stand up, act like you love each other. Me and your mother are respected in this community. She's going through that all natural, no makeup stage again. Please put her in the back. Lean forward, shoulders turned. I know he's living in Portland, but does he even wash his hair now? Can Vanessa at least cover up her stomach or something? This is move your knee in. Are we missing somebody? Wake her up. She's in the car. No, you can't feed the horses. Now get together and act like you love him. The feed.
Anybody go through anything like that this holiday season? Yeah, it's rough because no matter how I stand, no matter how I smile, it's wrong, right? So anyway, just kind of poke fun of it a little bit. So New Year's Day, and it's coming up right around the corner, right? It's right here. We've all said, I can't wait for 2020 to end, and it's almost over. So let me ask you this question. How many of you guys have made New Year's resolutions?
Nope.
No? Nobody here believes in New Year's resolutions? Okay, most of us have at one time or another. How many of you have ever made one? No, okay, we got a few. All right, how did it go?
Not well.
Yeah.
Starts off good.
So here's a couple of common New Year's resolutions that are made pretty much every year. You could probably set your calendar to it. 50% of Americans say they're going to
Lose weight.
exercise more. Okay, they say they're going to exercise more. That's why it's great to own a gym in January, right? Because here's what the gyms do: is hey, people are going to make New Year's resolutions. I'm going to exercise every day. And then you go the first day and you wake up the next day and you go, man, I'm kind of a little sore. Maybe I won't exercise every day. Maybe I'll go every other day, right? And then you wake up the next day and you're like, oh, I'm happy with how I look, right? And the gyms, what do? They get you, oh yeah, it's a 2-year contract. Yeah, so because they know if you pay month by month, come February, you ain't paying for the gym anymore, right? So the second thing, 49% say they're going to save money or they're going to spend less. How's that working? Hey, I wish the government would take on this mentality, right? We're going to save money and spend less, but yeah, doesn't look like it. Okay, 43% say they're going to eat healthier. Yeah, and that goes until you have, the first bite of Nutrisystem or the first day of Slim Fast, and you're starving at the end of the day, and you just wolf it all down at your dinner, and then, it's like, what am I even doing? Let's just eat normal, right? Let's just eat normal. 37% say they're going to lose weight, all right? And so America has an obesity problem because everybody keeps their New Year's resolutions, right? They go to the gym, they eat healthier. Yeah, right. Okay, so look, I'm not against or for New Year's resolutions, okay? If you want to have one, that's great. And if you don't, hey, that's great too, okay? And I know some of us, we're planning on having one later this week, come Friday. Hey, January 1st, I'm going to, and you got to fill in the blank with your New Year's resolution, right? And I'm gonna stick to it, I'm gonna be on it, and I'm gonna, yeah, okay, so about those New Year's resolutions, I don't want to discourage you guys, but I do have a duty to tell the truth, right? Because this is Realville, right? And we're gonna be real. So, about those New Year's resolutions, the truth is most resolutions fail by the second Friday in January. You guys realize that? The second Friday in January. And that's according to usmagazine.com. I don't know. I don't know where I found it, okay? But I did look it up. The 2nd January, that faithful date in 2021 is January 8th. By January 8th, if you make a New Year's resolution, statistics say you'll probably already lose it. It'll fail, right? January 8th. That's a little over a week into the year, and it's already down. You've already kind of just lost it. Okay, for 2021. Excuse me. Let's face it. Okay, let's be honest with each other. 2020 was rough. How many of you guys enjoyed 2020? I mean, Glad you're back, Jonathan. So good to see you. Yeah, this is Emma, our observer. Okay. All right. But let's be honest. I mean, let's be real. Other than the Dodgers winning the World Series, what was there in 2020 that to be great about? I mean, that's it.
Yeah, I got married.
Okay, well, that was good for Caleb. Not so good for you. All right, but I mean, let's be real. 2020 was rough. It's been one of the roughest years for me personally. It was tough. It was tough to get through 2020. And here's the thing: we made it, right? We made it. But let's look back at some of the stuff that we've had to endure in 2020. We didn't have to just deal with COVID-19. We had to deal with all the collateral damage that COVID-19 caused, right? It's one thing just to deal with the virus, but the economy shutting down, people being out of work, people not being able to pay their bills, okay? Drug use, domestic violence, suicides, all skyrocketing as collateral damage to COVID-19. Marriages breaking apart like crazy because you're crammed into a house and you have to stay together and you find out, I don't like you as much when I have to spend this much time with you. Our relationship at work so much better when I went to work and you went to work and we were too tired to fight when we get home, right? Now we've got all this time at home because we've been stuck at home with the stay-at-home orders. And if you're not an essential employee and you're just like, man, I've got all this energy and all I want to do is just want to fight. Because, I mean, what else is there? Right? So we've had to deal with all of that. Families have had to avoid gathering together. Except for your guys' family. I know you all broke the rules. Right? I know you guys broke the rules, okay? And that's okay. That's all right. We've seen, in 2020, we've seen riots. We've seen cities burned down. And lawlessness in cities and counties all across America. Right? All over the place. We had a presidential election, and we still really don't know who the winner is. Because you got both guys claiming they won. Now, look, I don't want to get into a political debate. I'm not trying to get political. I'm just saying we don't know who won, really. And we probably won't know for a couple of weeks, at least. 2020 has been a year not only rough, but of uncertainty. And I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, but it sucked. Okay? You already caught that on tape. There's no way to edit it out. Okay. Sorry, Facebook, if that offended you. But it did. Man, it was rough. It's terrible. And it's been a tough year for the church, right? Not just our church, but the capital C, the church. Governors and mayors all over the country. And so the church doors must close to keep people safe and to save lives, right? They don't mind keeping abortion clinics open to take lives, but hey, we're going to save your life. Please quit talking out of both sides of your mouth. All right? Mayors, governors, you have no credibility. And I'm sure they're all watching right now. Right?
I hope so.
I hope so too. Okay? You want to kill the most innocent among us, but you want to tell us you value our life. I'm sorry. I don't believe you. And I don't care what political party you affiliate with. This is not a party issue. This is a spirit issue. Okay? So the church has been attacked. Our families have been attacked. Our children have been attacked. But the church has faced adversity before. The church is still standing. For 2,000 years, there's been attack after attack after attack on the body of Christ, on the church. And ladies and gentlemen, we are still standing. We are still here. This is the biggest and the best fighting force there is. It's the church of Jesus Christ. All right? We are still here. And we will stand the test of time as the church, no matter what. And you want to know why? Because this is so important to us. There's people that are willing to give their lives for it. There's people that are willing to say, hey, my reputation doesn't matter. I stand with Christ. It doesn't matter what you call me, what you do to me. Take me to jail. Somebody I worked with said, well, what are you going to do if they come to your church and take you to jail? I said, are you kidding me? In the state of California? These idiots up in Sacramento have made it too easy. They have zero cash bail. They're just going to let me right back out. And then if they send me to prison for going to church, They're kicking everybody out of prison in California. I'll be the first one out. So, excuse me if I don't worry about it. Right? Because all of those brain children, and I'm not going to get off that list. Okay? But even if I had to start a prison ministry over this, because I had to stay there, because it's that important. The church will stand the test of time. The church will always be here, okay? Now, 2020 was rough. Said it before, say it again. The flip of the calendar does not automatically change our circumstances. If you're broke in 2020, you're probably going to start off broke in 2021. Aren't you glad you came here for some encouragement, right? If you're a dirtbag dad in 2020, the flip of the calendar ain't going to make you dad of the year, right? I'm not going to go nowhere else with that because I get myself into so much trouble right now, okay? So, the flip of the calendar, it doesn't change our circumstances, right? Now, I hope I haven't, ruined it for anybody or devastated you because you all thought, oh man, 2021, everything's going to change. That's probably not. Now, I want to look at something in the Bible real quick, in the book of Mark, that talks a little bit about what we're in, and I'll relate it here real quick. So let's start at Mark chapter 5, verse 25. Among them was a woman who had been bleeding for 12 years. Now, let's be clear what this means. She wasn't bleeding out of her nose. She didn't have a cut that wouldn't heal. Women, you know what I'm talking about when I say she was bleeding for 12 years, right? Guys, if you don't, ask a woman, okay? Because she knows. So she's been bleeding for 12 years. 12 years. How old are you? 13. So almost as long as he's been alive. That's how long she's been having these issues. Okay, let's go to the next verse. She had suffered very much from many doctors, because doctors know everything, right? We put all of our faith in doctors. You know, they're the smartest amongst us, right? So she went to all these doctors and had spent all of her money, because money fixes everything. Money fixes it all, right? But no, wait. She went to the doctor. She spent all the money she had, but instead of improving, she got worse. How is that possible? She went to the smart people. She gave them what they want was money, and she got worse. Verse 27. When the woman heard about Jesus, that's the key right there. When she heard about Jesus, she came up behind him in the crowd and touched his coat. She thought, if I can just touch his clothes, I will be healed. Instantly, her bleeding stopped, and she felt in her body that she was healed from her disease. Just from the touch. Okay? She spent 12 years with this issue, never getting any better. 12 years. I've never stuck with anything for 12 years. Okay? I tried a diet once. I did it for 12 weeks. Right? All I lost was 3 months. That's it. Right? Okay? But she went to the doctors. She spent every dime she had. Everything. She didn't get better. Verse 26 told us she got worse. She got worse. She did everything that we would tell her to do, right? Hey, you get sick, you go to the doctor. You give the doctor money, he makes you better. She did it the way she thought she was supposed to do it, okay? And we're really not all that different from her. We're really not. She made a resolution every year to get better. I'm going to do this year what I didn't do last year, and I'm going to get better. Whatever it takes, I'm going to go to the doctor. Maybe this year, I'll try a new doctor. Because sometimes, hey, new doctors, new ideas, right? So we're going to try something new. Okay, that didn't work. So maybe this year, I'll spend more money on better treatments. And it didn't work. Because doctors and money aren't always the answer. She did this for 12 years and got worse instead of better. The calendar flipped 12 times as she continued to suffer with her illness. Now, she could have gotten discouraged. I would have. How many of you would have? Right? I get stuffed up. I get allergies. I get stuffed up. I mean, just like an hour, and I'm miserable. I'm ready to call 911 and get an ambulance here to give me some help here, right? Because I got a stuffed up nose. I can't imagine 12 years. Okay? She could have given up, but she didn't. She kept going. She kept moving. And I'm sure some days she felt like she wasn't making any progress. But every step she took her one step closer to Jesus. every step for 12 years. Yeah, but that's a long time. But in the end, when she touched Jesus, don't you think it was worth it? Just a little aside, I heard somebody talk about this one time. It had nothing to do with this, but I thought this was really cool. If you read through Scripture, and you read through the life and the ministry of Jesus, there were more people healed from them touching Jesus than Jesus reaching out and touching them. Think about that for a minute. Just think about that. I need this and I need that. Go touch Jesus. Stop waiting in your chair. Stop waiting in your room. Stop waiting wherever you're at and waiting for Jesus to magically show up and touch you. You start moving to touch Jesus. And see
That's
what
good.
happens.
That's good.
Right? And I wish I would have thought of that, but I heard somebody else talk about it. And so I have to throw that disclaimer. Thank you, Tim Sumner. All right? Wow, what if in 2021 we stopped waiting for Jesus to touch us and we moved to him and said, I'm going to reach out, I'm going to touch Jesus? What would we see? What would happen? What changes? What improvements would happen? What healings would we see? I'm already starting to get little doodads on my arm here.
Yeah.
And I know what's coming up here in a few minutes, and you guys are going to get... Whew, okay. And I want to talk about it. I don't want to spoil it, okay? Every step she took, it brought her closer to him. So, some of you may be sitting here and go, okay, that's cool. What's it got to do with me? I am so glad you guys ask really good questions sometimes. And I'm so glad that you asked, okay? 2020 could have been a death blow to this church. You've been here for a while. It got rough, didn't it? My preaching got bad, didn't it? You better not say no. You better not say no. Thank you, Vanjie. All right? Man, it was rough. Now, think back to March of 2020. We were rocking and rolling, huh? We were meeting down at the Walker Center. We were building momentum. We were growing. We had people excited. They were showing up. And then we get an order from the president. Shut the country down. I struggled with that. You have no idea how bad I struggled with that. I called the district officials and said, hey, do I have to shut it down? And they didn't really want to tell me no, but they didn't want to tell me yes. They just said, hey, you have to do what you have to do. But just remember, there's liability, the L word. And so I said, okay. So I came and I told the church, hey, we're going to shut down for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Well, the officials in the state, they said, hey, we like this shutdown so much, we're going to extend it. And for 2 months, we went to online only. And man, that was discouraging. It was so discouraging for 2 months. So in May, we opened back up. And we said, hey, we're gonna hit this, and we're going to hit this running. Boom, right into a wall. Because the place we were renting from said, hey, we can't accept any of this liability. We can't let you back in. Our lawyers are telling us not to let you in. I said, okay. I disagree with it, but hey, it's your building, it's your rules. Okay. So I start scrambling. We're looking for places. There's a church that let us come in. You remember, right? Mm-hmm. And they were very gracious, and they said, absolutely, you can come in, you can use this building back here, but you can only come in at 2 o'clock. We have morning service, we have evening service, and we really don't want our services disrupted. And I get that. I mean, absolutely. I mean, who wants to have your services disrupted? But here's the issue. Who wants to go to church at 2 o'clock? That's when you're supposed to be either A, barbecuing, or B, you just fell asleep on the couch after the barbecue, right? And so, I'm not going to pick on the Cowboys today. I had a Cowboy joke already, and I'm not going to do it today, Diane. Okay, I promise. I promised myself I wouldn't say anything, because I guess they're supposed to win today. ESPN says, hey, they're going to win. So we'll see.
He said he wasn't going to say it.
No. I'm not bagging hey. They're going to win today, Diane. They're going to win. Okay? It's better than what happened to the Raiders last night. Okay? All right? But 2 o'clock, man, that was rough. That was really rough. And I would talk to people, say, hey, you come to church? I said, yeah, that's too late in the afternoon. I said, well, what do you mean? It's church. You can sleep in. You can have breakfast. Now, we go to church in the morning. I heard a lot of that. And there were Sundays that almost nobody showed up. We had to change the camera angle so it didn't look like we were empty, because we were. Some days it was Caleb and Emma, Vanjie, and me and Robin. That was it, right? It was rough. It was really rough. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, okay? I don't believe I should lie to you. And I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that there wasn't any time that I thought about giving up. Because I thought about it more than once. And I thought, okay, God, I misheard your voice. You really didn't tell me to start this. You told me to go help somebody else, to be somebody else's number 2 or number 3, to go and support them. Because you couldn't have called me to move my family, from another county, put us here for this. God, I know, God, straighten me out. What did I hear wrong? But I learned something about myself. Okay? I learned I'm not smart enough to know when to give up. I'm just not. And I can get that little bit of stubborn streak. And I think sometimes when you're working the will of God, you have to be a little stubborn. And you have to know God has said move. You need to move. And know that each step, no matter how dark, no matter how dreary, no matter how bad it looks, each step is taking us closer to Jesus. Each step. So we came here to my living room. Everybody, the district, they really didn't want me to. I didn't want to. I'll be honest, I didn't. But who's going to show up? It's going to be me and Robin and Vanjie, and that's it. My mom and dad will be there, and they're going to be there just because they pity me, right? They feel bad, right? So, but here's what happened. Something sparked. We started to grow. And I don't understand it. I don't get it. But it's not me, it's God. God has done this. Okay? Now, we've grown from where we were back in May, in June, in that other building. Okay? We've grown. But it's not enough. Okay? God has more in store for Community Circle Church. Let's look at Proverbs 29:18. And I took this out of the Passion Version because I really like the way they worded this. When there is no clear prophetic vision, it's got to be clear. It's got to be prophetic. It's got to be vision. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to cast a little bit of vision for 2021. People quickly wander astray. That is so true. When you don't know where to go, when you don't have MapQuest or Google Maps telling you where to go, you just keep driving around in circles, don't you? You just kind of go astray. And she keeps telling you, Raw, pull over and ask for directions. Pull over and ask for directions. You say, hey, I got this. At least I'm not running red lights and trying to Hey, just so you guys know, anything you say can and will be used as a sermon illustration. All right? All right. But when you follow the revelation of the Word, and who was the Word? Remember we learned? Right? John chapter 1. Okay? Heaven's bliss fills your soul. Right? So that's what we're looking for today. We have vision for 2021. As a church, we believe God is going to do amazing things this next year. And He's going to do it through each and every single one of you. It's not just going to be me. It's not just going to be my wife or Caleb and them. It's going to be a collection of miraculous occurrences. You guys are going to look back on when we get ready to hit 2022, you're going to look at this and you're going to go, wow, I can't believe everything God did in 2021. This is amazing. Do you remember where we were a year ago? Look where we're headed now. Yeah. That's not a resolution. That's vision. Our vision for this church can be summed up into 3 words. Community, circle, church. So, okay, what do you mean by that? Like I said, you guys ask great questions, okay? We want everybody to come together as a community in prayer. I want 2021 to be a year that you pray like you've never prayed before. Not just for yourselves and your families, I want you to pray for your communities. You guys heard what happened last night in Wasco, right? Okay, another tragedy. That's the 8th homicide this year in the city of Wasco. It's too many. I don't have the stats for Shafter or McFarland or any of the other ones. That's the one that I heard on the internet last night for Wasco. That's too many. It's too many. We need to be praying for our community. We need to be praying for our families. We need to be praying for our friends, our co-workers, our church. So next week, I'm going to be handing out just some notebooks that we're gonna go get, and I want them to be a prayer journal. So what do I write in it? Whatever you want. I want you to document the times you pray so you can go back and you can look at it, okay? Now, this is not something, I'm not going to collect this, I'm not going to grade this. This is not something I'm checking up on you. Yeah, this is for you. So, hey, here's what I foresee it being. You know, you're going to get it on January 3rd, so you take it home and you go spend 10 minutes in prayer after you leave here next week. You just write down, spend 10 minutes in prayer, pray for family, pray for our church, you know, pray for whatever, and that's it. Hey, and maybe you don't pray every single day. I get it. Things come up. I am not so naive that I think that every person can pray here 365 days. I get that. But I want you to just kind of keep a documentation, kind of as an accountability for yourself. You say, yeah, I pray, and then you go look and the whole thing's blank. It's like, all right, let's become a community of prayer. Let's have a focused prayer for our families and for our communities and for our church, okay? We're going to need in 2021 to extend our community and ministry. Okay, what does that mean? That means I'm going to need some of you, most of you, I'm going to need you guys to step up and fill roles in ministry. I can't do it all. Robin can't do it all. Caleb will try, but he'll mess it all up. I'm just kidding. He's the only one I can pick on that can take it. And if he gets mad, nobody cares. So, all right? But there's some of us, you guys have got gifts. You guys have got talents that I don't have. I mean, anybody here mechanical? I'm not. You know my idea of fixing something? I find somebody that can fix it. Because I can't. But some of you have those talents. I am so thankful for those guys in the back that learn how to work that board and the computer. And so you can have the stuff up here on the screen and the monitors when Robin is singing. That is such a big help. And it's freed Caleb up from having, you know, he can do other stuff now. All right? But we need teachers. And we need people that can do office stuff. And, hey, when this grows and takes off, we're going to need all of you. Okay? Don't be intimidated by it. We're not going to throw you out to the sharks and say, okay, sink or swim, have a nice time, see ya. No, we're not going to set you up for failure. We're going to come alongside. We're going to partner with you, and we're going to help you because we want to see you flourish. Because when you flourish, we as a church grow. Okay? And when you become a part of that and you take ownership in it, you're going to want people to come and be a part of it. Right? Hey, look what I own. How many of you guys, whenever you got a new house, you want everybody to come over and see it? Why? You were proud of it, and you should be. Right? You should be. And you know what? You should be one of the people say, hey, come look at this church. I'm a part of it. Look what I do. Come here. Let me introduce you to some people. Okay? That's a part of it. So we're going to extend our community in ministry. Okay? We're going to need you guys to come along and fill roles in the church. And I'm excited about that. But I see a lot of talented people in front of me right now. Okay? I don't know what exactly God has talented each of you with, but I know it's there. Otherwise, He wouldn't have sent you. All right? So, I love my church. I love my church. I love Community Circle Church. But this isn't just my church. This is our church. Right? So if you love your church, we're going to need your help. Okay? Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, I'm going to make a list right here. Okay, what do you guys want to do? No. It's coming. It's not today, not right now. It's going to try to be thinking about it. What can you offer? What can you add? What special gift can you add to make Community Circle Church even better? Because it's there. We're just going to tap into it, all right? As a community, we need everybody to be faithful in giving. Because that's how we're going to reach the next level. Hey, this isn't something to where I'm not going to be, the smiling pastor and just talk about, oh, God's going to bless you. I don't mean to make fun of Joel Osteen. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Okay? And if you like him, hey, Joel, no hard feelings, bud, all right? he watches this to get his sermon prep. So, but what I'm going to say is, but you're giving me ugly looks right now. Why are you doing that? So Robin's with the kids. That's what Emma's taking that role over today. But hey, look, we seriously need people to be faithful with their giving and be faithful to the church, because that's how we reach people. It takes money to reach people. Okay? Well, this is not about me building a brand about me. I'm not important. Okay? This is God's church. And this is about spreading the gospel to our communities, to Shafter and to Wasco, McFarland, Delano, Bakersfield, and beyond. Okay? So it's through these things that we create a better community to reach around us. Okay, that's part of our vision for 2021. So that's community. Now, what about circle? We want to reestablish our circle groups. Okay, you guys remember we did this a little bit when we first started. We had to kind of stop a little bit when COVID started, because everybody was like, no, we don't want to be around nobody. You know, we're distancing and all that kind of stuff. And we got it. I understood. But I think it's time that we need to restart it. Why? What is a circle group? A circle group is where we have people that get together in different homes or restaurants or wherever you guys want to meet. We just kick back and get to know each other. Maybe it's an interest group. Maybe you guys go ride motorcycles together. Or you sew together or bake together, or there's all kinds of different things that you can base a group on. But what it's really about is getting to know each other just a little bit better. Okay, so that we can walk through life together. Because we get to know each other a whole lot better in circles than we do in rows. See, we don't know anything about the person in front of us except what the back of their head looks like, unless we're related. Right? But if we get into circles and we start getting to know each other, we can walk through life together. And when we have trials and troubles in life, we can divide those if we're together. And when we have something that great happens, we can multiply that in the celebration. That's what circle groups is all about. Okay? When you get into circle group, something happens. Sometimes I'm not available, but hey, this person in my circle group, I've gotten to know them. Hey, I need some help. I need somebody to pray with me. My wife's in the hospital. Can you meet me there and pray? Right? When we get to go back and do that again. Right? That's what we want to see take place. We want the church to be the church. Okay? It can't always fall on me, and it always can't fall on Robin, because we're two people. But if we can multiply us into you guys, and you guys can start leading some of that stuff, and watch the power of God move through you, we will have no choice but to grow. Okay? So if you guys want to start a circle group, let me know. Get in touch with me. We'll talk about it. It's not hard. I'm not going to throw you to the wolves. We'll come alongside. We'll partner, and we're going to help you guys out. Okay? But we need to circle up and deepen our relationships. We really need to do that. Okay? We need relationships, because relationships is how we grow. And we want to grow, right? So, well, hey, I think it's pretty cool the way it is. You got family that's far from God? You got family and friends that are far from God? Yeah, I want to see them get a relationship with Jesus Christ. And how do we do that? By getting them here. By getting them here, we grow, right? Because remember, every person has a name. Every name has a story. Every story matters to God, right? So all of those friends, those families that are far from God, so, well, they're just numbers. Yeah, but they're numbers that matter, because they've got stories, right? And we want to collect those stories, and we want to grow, and we want to see people get closer. So the third thing is church. We want to establish a church. We believe God's called us to set up in the Shafter area. Now it's been rough. It's been tough. A lot of doors slammed in our face. A lot of phone calls hung up on, right? Emails unanswered. That's okay. I'm not smart enough to know when to give up. So we're going to keep moving, because we believe that's where God has sent us. Okay? And then that doesn't mean we only minister to Shafter. We minister to everybody. Shafter, Wasco, McFarland, Delano, Bakersfield, wherever. Everybody's welcome. Okay? Everybody. Okay? So we need a building where we can establish and reach the community around us for Jesus Christ. Okay? This, my friends, this is who we are. This is Community Circle Church. Okay? Now, we may feel like all is dead, right? 2020 killed our dreams and he killed our passion. How many friends in the house? It just, 2020 took it all out of me. I don't even know if I can keep going on in 2021. It's not over. It's just beginning. I want to read a passage out of Ezekiel. Okay? It's Ezekiel 37, 1 through 14. I felt the power of the Lord on me. This is Ezekiel speaking. And he brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and put me down in the middle of a valley. And it was full of bones. Okay, some of you may be familiar with this passage. Don't ruin it for the rest of us, okay? Because I want to see what happens. Okay? It's full of these bones. He led me around among the bones, and I saw that there were many bones in the valley, and they were very dry. This means they're old. They've been there forever, right? When a person dies and they decompose, and the bones, they're dry. No life whatsoever in these bones. Then he asked me, human, some versions will say, son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, Lord God, only you know. God, will 2021 live? God, only you know, right? After 2020, it's dead, it's dry. Can 2021 live? God, only you know. He said to me, prophesy to these bones and say to them, dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Then this is what the Lord God says to the bones. I will cause breath to enter you so you will come to life. How many of you guys know that there's just a few things that you need in life in order to live? One is oxygen, right? So he gave these bones breath, okay? I will put muscles on you. God, I wish you would put muscles on me. Oh my God. Would you please replace some of this and just bulk me up, God? Okay? I will put muscles on you and flesh on you and cover you with skin. And then I will put breath in you so you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord. It's going to put that muscles, the skin, and the breath of life back into 2021. So I prophesied as I was commanded. While I prophesied, there was a noise and a rattling. Remember this word. There was a rattling. Do dry bones move? Do they rattle around? The bones came together, bone to bone. I looked and saw muscles. God, I want so bad to look in the mirror and see muscles. I'm not playing. I really do want to. Okay? And so does Robin. She says, if you could just put some muscles on, okay? So I looked and saw muscles come on the bones, and flesh grew, and skin covered the bones. But there was no breath in the, hey, it all looks good, but there's no life. There's a lot of churches, they look good. They've got the nice building, and they got people in it, but there's no life. There's no breath of God in that church. Then he said to me, prophesy to the wind. Prophesy, human or son of man, and say to the wind, this is what the Lord God says. Wind, come from the four winds and breathe on these people who were killed so they can come back to life. These people were killed. They were put to death. How many of you 2020 killed you? 2020 put you out. You were an army of God, and 2020 took you out and slaughtered you. So I prophesied as the Lord commanded me. And the breath came into them, and they came to life and stood on their feet, a very large army. You guys ready to be an army? You guys ready to be an army? Then he said to me, human, these bones are like the people of Israel. They say, our bones are dried up and our hope has gone. We are destroyed. Do I have any friends in the place today? 2020 has done this to us, hasn't it? So prophesy and say to them, this is what the Lord God says. My people, I will open your graves. Banji, he will open your grave. Sam, he will open your grave. I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your grave. Then I will bring you into the land of Israel. My people, you will know that I am the Lord when I open your graves and cause you to come up from them. Bro, you're getting ready to come up. And I will put my spirit inside you and you will come to life. Then I will put you in your own land and you will know that I, the Lord, have spoken and done it, says the Lord. Guys, there's a rattling coming. There is a rattling that's starting. And you just got to listen for it. The breath of God is getting ready to start. So I've asked Robin to sing this song for us because I can't think of any more appropriate song for today than this.